Brian here from quantlabs.net. I wanted to show you a few things that I've been playing around with and investigating, just very high level. Some of you may have the same concerns as I have if you are planning to build a, let's say, a high frequency trading platform or some kind of open source trading platform for Linux, but you want to be able to still use the same resources that you find on Windows, namely something like your interactive brokers, TWS workstation, or maybe SQL Server. This is a good option, just so people should know about it. The other reason I might introduce you to this little project is called Cygin, is for anybody that might be new to Linux and they just can't really move into and know how to set up a virtual box and set up their own virtual machine and go through the install process, which I still would recommend anyone to do, just if they're choosing this sort of thing as a career path or whatnot. And this is a very easy, like it's one expectation that is pretty well standard in any development environment you go into. But as a step before that, Cygin's a really good option if you're really starting out and you just want to rapidly build something on Windows but using Linux-like tools. So there's two projects that you can choose from. There's Cygin and Min GW, Minimal GW. I played around with this project a while back. I didn't like it, so we're just going to do this to it. No arguments about it. Cygin's a good one. It's a clean environment and it's fairly easy to set up. Just download, give you some options when you do install it for Windows. What you're looking for is a GCC compiler. Obviously you're going to be hopefully developing something in C++, so again, that's a standard language that a lot of the hedge funds and big trading operations expect you to know. So let me show you what it looks like. What you'll basically end up with is a Cygin terminal, and this is pretty well the world of Linux right here. Now, for those that are new to Linux, I just want to show you that there are similar Linux or Unix commands on your Windows environment. As you can see here, it's a terminal, and what you're after is this, the ability to install GCC, which is the new C compiler, which is needed. So there you go. There's the GCC compiler. There's also the G++ as well. It does include Java as well. So you kind of get that as out of the box. So these are things that you need to understand, work with if you want to work with Linux on your Windows desktop without, as I said, going through a crazy situation to configure and install a virtual machine. But again, that's something I would recommend. Next up is when you go down this path, you can't work with a standard Visual Studio. You have to use another C++ integrated development environment, namely like I don't know, there's code blocks or something like that. The one I'm going to be using is Eclipse. Let me just show you the download link for that, because it does get confusing for people that are all new to this. Okay, so when you come into your Eclipse downloads, you have all these different options. You get your IDE for Java, Classic, blah blah blah. This is the one you want, is Eclipse IDE for C and C++ developers. Obviously this is cross-platform for Linux and Mac as well as Windows, so you just download that and you should end up with something like this. Now, I still have to play with it. I played with it in my Linux environment. It worked really well out of box. It was pretty well the only IDE that worked really well for C++, and I was able to step through it with a built-in debugger, which is quite sophisticated. For those that don't know Eclipse, Eclipse is pretty well the standard IDE used for Java development. There's two other ones that are getting up there. There's one called NetBeans, and the other one's I can't remember the name. But regardless, I'm finding Eclipse is pretty standard across the board, as well as NetBeans. But for C development, I'm going to probably try to stick with this one. As you know, as I start to get really into stuff, I might change it, but I'll let you know through another video. One other caveat with the Eclipse is just do note that this is just a hello world when you do want to create a new C++ project, like a hello world. There are errors, and obviously they don't come configured with where the IO stream and all the other library header files found. So I have to do some further configuration there. But so far so good. This is probably the environment I'm going to go with. The big advantage going this route is with when you use these GCC compilers, they are cross platform, meaning this source code that you develop in something like Eclipse should be able to be rebuilt and recompiled within a Linux or a Mac environment, as long as you're using the C++ compliant GCC compiler. And again, there's two different ones. There's the GCC and the G++. And yeah, just wanted to let you know about that. That's where I'm going with the development stack. Hopefully I'll help you out.